everybody, so we said that we would show you the gypsy moths and what we kind of did to prevent our trees from being defoliated. I'm going to show you that now. It's been a wet season, so they haven't been as big of an outbreak as they anticipated. They said it was going to be worse than last year. It definitely wasn't even, I would say, a third as bad as last year. The rain has promoted the growth of some type of fungus, I think they said, that the gypsy moth caterpillars eat, and then it liquefies their insides. They burst open and the fungus spreads. Not exactly sure if that's how it works or not. I didn't do a whole lot of research on it, just because I can't create rain, so I can't create the fungus, and I wanted to know a way to make it happen. So let me show you kind of what we did. Alright, so I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, some of the mistakes we've made, so that way if you do come across this, you won't do the same thing. We used duct tape, and duct tape's kind of expensive. It's no longer even sticky. So Andrew thought, let's use cellophane, which I have to pull it off because it's really definitely growing stuff underneath it, and I don't want to hurt the tree any more than the gypsy moths already did. So then we bought this I want to say it's Tanglewood stuff. I'll put the link in the description if you want it. It's very sticky, and as you can see, like, everything kind of really just stuck to it like crazy. The problem is it's very expensive, and a little bit does not go a long way with this stuff. You use a whole, like, small tub of it on like 2 or 3 trees, and that was, I think it was like $11, $12, and we have 3 acres of trees, so that just really didn't work for us. So the year before, we had used Gorilla Tape. Now, in defense of the duct tape, it didn't rain that much last year, hence the fact that we have caterpillars everywhere this year. But the Gorilla Tape, when I was taking it down, was literally sticking to me, covered in caterpillars. So, that means, I don't know. I mean, some of them are still alive and moving, if you can see. That little dude's moving in there. But if you look up here, they're all dead and like hanging off the tree. So nature has its checks and balances. Yes, we went through 2 years of pretty crappy caterpillars. This year was pretty bad too. I mean, if you look at the trees, there's thousands on each tree. Not as bad as last year, like I said. We still did have some of our trees completely defoliated. So last year, every single tree in our yard was completely defoliated. This year, only a few, and in fact, some of those trees right there that are defoliated never came back from last year. We're hoping next year we'll see some growth on them, because we really don't want to cut them down, but we may have to because they are definitely really big, and if they fall and they die, it's going to be right on the house. But so you can see, we did lose a lot of leaves. All our leaves have a bunch of little holes in them where they were eaten. And if you look at the ground, let me see, a good place to show you is probably the driveway. You can see that the driveway is covered in little pieces of leaves. Last year, after the caterpillars went through their cycle, I'd say it took until probably around the 4th of July or so, we had to rake the entire yard again. You couldn't see the grass. It was just all leaves. It looked like fall. Some of the trees did get leaves again last year, but most of them did not. So I'm actually happy to see that our maples still, for the most part, have leaves. Now I want to show you where he did the duct tape on the bottom of the saran wrap, because the caterpillars were getting past the saran wrap. Now the whole point of putting that sticky stuff on the saran wrap is you keep replacing it. Again, too expensive. So you can see it's kind of gross. But they're just all dead. They're disgusting. Look at them all just hanging. And we didn't spray anything. some people sprayed tons and tons and tons of stuff. This little dude's still alive. Look how big he is. Oh. Tons and tons and tons of chemicals. We don't believe in spraying chemicals where our chickens eat, where our daughter plays, where we collect our dandelions to eat, or anything else in our yard that we see that could potentially be edible. And so we decided against spraying. But for the most part, we have leaves still on the trees, which we didn't this time of year. So I thought I'd give you guys just a quick overview of what happened with them and why we didn't really do a crazy video on them. They, again, were supposed to be way worse than last year, so we were debating having to spray, because if they were, our whole foundation was crawling last year. At certain points of the season last year, you could not see our foundation. It was just caterpillars all over the house. You couldn't step outside. They were pooping in your hair, which it sounded like rain, constant rain, because their poop would just fall, and it was like hitting other leaves, hitting the ground. It was awful. This year, there was a lot of poop. I can't say there wasn't. Our deck was covered most of the time. And going out to get the chickens, because they're a little bit more in that wooded section, I'd get covered in caterpillar poop and have to take a shower after I went and fed them and stuff. But for the most part, it was not bad this season. And we are hoping that it won't be bad for a very long time again. Alright, so everyone, have a blessed day. Don't forget to give our videos a thumbs up and subscribe. YouTube has changed a little bit of the way they're doing it, so you're not going to see any ads in our videos for quite some time. We have to have 10,000 views. And we're around, I think, 1,800, which it's improving. We're getting more and more views every day, which we appreciate and we thank you, and we feel very blessed and fortunate that our friends and family are watching our videos. But 10,000 views is our goal, and we're hoping to hit that by the end of the summer. So if you guys could help us out by liking, subscribing, and sharing, it would be great. Thanks.